Hi, my name's David and I want to show you what I want to do with this architecture image in Capture One. Currently the image looks like this with no adjustments applied, but I'd like to get to something that looks closer to this. Before doing anything else, I'm going to straighten the image by using the straighten cursor tool up here, or pressing R on my keyboard, and just take a level part of the image, like the stairs here, and draw across to level up nicely. I just check with the guides that I've done a good job, so I'm happy with that. So now the image is leveled. If I press C on my keyboard, I can take my crop to the final result that I want to have and go with something like that. So now the image is cropped and straightened. I can improve on the highlights in this area on the rear building just by dragging the highlight slider to the right, so we can see some more detail coming through on the roof like so. So that helps that. I can lift the shadows just a small amount. I don't want to go too far. And then now also look at the white balance. If I experiment by going this way, that's too warm, so I'll go back the other way. Or I might just take my grey balance picker here and just click on some of the concrete areas to get a white balance that works well for the overall shot. That's close, but I'll just warm up a little bit more so we've got some warmth of the lights coming through like so. And I can just click a few more times and then go to a final result like that. So happy with the white balance and general exposure. The exposure was actually quite a long one, and if I zoom in to 100%, we can see we've got some star trails here which are in the sky. Now I feel they're distracting, so if I take our spot removal tool, switch to spot mode, and then just target some of these. I can reduce the radius, it doesn't have to be that big, just so it's roughly the same size as the spot, and I can work quite quickly just getting rid of these spots on the image. Zoom out a little if I need to, so I can just find them nice and quickly like so. The sky has got this slight color tint in it, which I think it will be more dynamic if I get rid of that. So if I go to the advanced color editor, take my color picker and just click on the tone, and I'll increase the smoothness just to make sure I get all the neighboring colors as well, and then take the saturation right down, and that gives me a nice dark sky as you can see, or a nice black sky as you can see. I think that's much more dynamic. Contrast wise, just looking at the image now that I've reduced the saturation in the sky, I just add a little bit of clarity, gives the image more pop. And if I zoom in again to 100%, got great detail, excellent sharpness on the building. So let's just bring up structure slightly as well. If I click on the structure name, you can see before and then after. It just brings out a bit more detail in those architectural elements and the concrete. So really only one or two more jobs left to do, and the first thing I want to do is just remove this light in the bottom right hand corner, which I think is a bit distracting. So I can do that with a local adjustment, heal layer. So if I click and hold on the plus, I can choose new heal layer. I just call that light so I know what it's referring to, and then choose my draw mask brush or hit B on the keyboard. The first thing I need to do is set a source of where I'm going to take one part of the image and use that part to remove the light. So holding down my Alt key, I can set the source, and then I just simply need to brush like so. If I need to, I can just change the position slightly by dragging the point up and down, just so it fits better. And that's done a pretty nice job of removing that. My final job, just in the Keystone tool, I'll just play with the aspect slider a bit just to stretch the building slightly, just to make it a little taller. And there we have it. I'm happy with the changes made to the image. If you remember, we started with this, and then here's the final image once again.